Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following confession that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a message that I received, and it reads like this. Anonymous, please post for me. My heart is heavy. I really do not know what is going to happen in the winter of 2026. My name, you will call me Spoo, not my real name. And me and my brother David, we came from KZN and then we came here to Joburg. We grew up with nothing, but we just wanted to escape the poverty. We grew up watching our mom trying to make it work in life. My mother, she used to work for this other white man, but the money that she was being given, it was not even enough. So when our cousin Jabu invited us to come and stay with him in Joburg, we were so eager, but we did not even have the money to move from KZN and to come to Joburg. That is how broke we were. As for my mom, it's like our mothers, they know that something bad will happen to you if you decide to leave the village and then you go and you start working in another place. Because whenever we would tell our mom that we were supposed to come to Joburg and to leave KZN so that we can be like men, our mom would always refuse. She will swear and say that you are not going to get any single cent from me. As long as you want to leave KZN, I am not going to give you money. Because as for my mother, she did not trust my brother, my cousin brother at all. So we just thought that maybe our mom, she was that traditional woman who always wanted to see her sons around, and this felt like she was the one that was dragging us behind. Because as for Jabu, even though he did not come back to KZN, we just heard that he was making money. I once saw him on Facebook and he stopped communicating with me on Facebook, where he had posted his cars that he was using. Whenever I would tell my mom that, look, this is how Jabu is enjoying money in Joburg, my mom will be like, what if he is an armed robber there? I do not want you to go to Joburg. My mom, she did not know about the spiritual stuff that Jabu was involved in. My mother, she just knew that maybe he might be involved in stealing cars, because when he was staying in KZN, he had been arrested after he had been caught with other guys trying to steal a car, and they ran off and they left Jabu behind. He was arrested. He stayed in prison for about 2 years. He was in prison. So my mom, she said, if you boys go to Joburg, maybe I will never be able to see you again. What if you get arrested? I won't have the money to see you in prison there in Joburg, and maybe you might die there in Joburg. That was when me and my brother David, we then thought of a plan. Close to our location, there was this other factory that belonged to the Pakistan. So if you could go there, those Pakistans, they could hire you, but they would give you low pay. Most of the people that were working there, they were foreign people. They were the ones that would go there and work. Me and David, we then went we knew that if we could find ourselves in Joburg, life was going to change. We started working for those Pakistans for about 2 months. Then we were able to raise money. Then we got onto the taxi and then we came to Joburg. When my mom learned that this was what we had done, my mother, she was so angry because I also stole her phone, and I took it so simple and I said, when we are in Joburg, after we would have worked for a long time, then as for my mom, it is not a big deal. I would buy my mother another phone. So we came to Joburg. Jabu was living a life that one can only see on TV. He had a penthouse in Morningside and he lived inside a very beautiful house. There were glass walls all over the place. And he would drink whatever beer that you can't even afford. And as for the women, there were always women at his house. You could choose any kind of a woman that you wanted. He would tell us that all of these women, they were his girlfriends. They did not even fight with each other. One will be in another room sleeping, waiting for Jabu to go to that room. The other one will be watching TV. The other one will be in the jacuzzi. All of these girls, they were being given money. and there were women everywhere, drugs, alcohol. He told us that he was a forex dealer. He was trading currencies, whilst other people, those that were hard workers, were sleeping. We followed suit. He told us that we were supposed to follow everything that he was going to teach us. He made us to open Instagram account. We started posting fake MT4 screenshots of profits that we did not even make. We started even using his cars. We would even go and rent Italian supercars so that we can post on Instagram, and then the people would come to us. We would teach them how to do those things of forex trading, and then we would make a profit from those people, because forex traders, they only make a profit from those people that do not know how to trade. So the more that we stayed in this penthouse, the more that I felt that there was something that was totally wrong with this house. As for Jabu, he was not totally trading. You would not see him on the computer at all the times looking at the graphs. I started seeing rich old Nigerian men, because even if I drink alcohol, I would always remember that there is something that happened. But as for David, he would drink, he would pass out, but I have never passed out in my life, no matter how hard I drink. So these old Nigerian men, they would come and drink with us. As we would be busy drinking, these men, they will start to have this vibe with my cousin Jabu. And this vibe, it was something that you can't expect a man to be doing with another man. I saw things that I am even ashamed to say. My own cousin, a man that I looked up to, he was having intimate, strange relationships with this man just for the Zaga. One night, after too much Hennessy, I confronted him and I told him and I said, Jabu, stop the lies. The Forex, I think it is just a front. You can't make this kind of money from a phone screen. Please tell me, where are you getting this money from? He then laughed at me and he said, oh, so you now think that you know Joburg more than the way that I know it. That is why you are still a beggar. Me and David, we were proud people. We did not want the dirty way that Jabu was living. So we moved out and we started our own honest company. We wanted to teach people how to trade properly. He would come to our office, even laugh at us and say that you are not going to make any money. But we believed that God was going to help us in the business that we had started, because we were very proud of ourselves and we were very honest. But without Jabu, that forex dream collapsed. We were not making money and we had a lot of clients, and then we started to make some risky move, and there were people that had given us their last cent. We ended up owing, including the rentals that we were owing, because we stayed at that same building in Centon and the rent was so expensive and we could not afford, and those people, they were angry, including the money for the clients. We were owing 500,000, and the people, they were even threatening to exit us, if you know what I am talking about. There were people that had gotten my mother's phone number and telling her that they would burn her house down. We were broke. Even when my mother would call me, she would cry and she will say, what did you do there in Joburg? You need to return back home. And I knew that to return back home, it was going to be terrible. We were staying in a flat in Hillbrow, sharing that flat with other people. And those debt collectors, they were circling us and they were calling us day and night. In my desperation, I went back to Jabu, but I did not tell my brother David. David had already refused Jabu's offer for us to go and meet the big Nigerian men, because I knew that the situation was so bad. We were never going to recover unless we had someone that had the financial muscle to pull us out of the big hole that we had found ourselves in. If that did not happen, we were going to die, my brother. So I went to Jabu alone. And when I arrived at his house, he said, no, do not worry. Do not worry. All the things that you said, I really do not care about that. I am ready for you. You are family. And if you are ready, Sbu, I can take you to the people that are going to make you to become rich. I was never taken to a river or to a dark forest like the other stories that you hear. We went to this high-end private club. This was in Bryanston, and when I arrived there, I saw that there were cars that were parked there that were so beautiful. Inside, there were no candles, no animal skins. It was just nice, and there were men there that seemed to be so rich. I was then taken to this other Grootman. He was a South African guy. He was the one that you speak with first before you get access to the Nigerian that my cousin used to get intimate with. So it's like a process. They just don't pick anyone from the street. And he spoke with me. He asked me so many questions, what I think about men sleeping with each other. Did I have a bad attitude? Have I ever had any bad attitude about those men? I really did not know what to say. I was so confused by then. So this man, he told me that he was going to assist me for my cousin Jabu had told him about the debt that we were owing. He said, 500, it's nothing, 500k. I can even find it in my wardrobe. And I said, man, 500k, even in your wardrobe. Yours, you must be rich. He said, shh, stay quiet. There are things that are never supposed to be said. I am too ashamed to even detail the full ritual because after that, I was taken to another room at that same club, the room where you can take a stripper and do stuff to that stripper. I'm too ashamed to even detail the full ritual to the listeners of African Confessions, the things that I had to do to my own dignity, the things that those men made me to do, and the way that they humiliated me so that I can be able to get help from them. It haunts me to this very day every time when I close my eyes. So I entered into a covenant with a spirit being. They told me that physical work is for slaves. They told me that large sums of money was going to appear to me physically or to be transferred to my account without any physical work. If you know the right spiritual transactions, they told me. I was desperate. I wanted that nightmare to end, the nightmare of debt collectors calling me non-stop. I wanted the people to know that I had made it in Joburg, those that were laughing at my mom, because there were people that were also threatening my mom and other family members, and they would just say, this is the woman that has those boys that you are talking about. During the initiation, I was supposed to buy some stuff that I had to wear when I was going to be introduced to the big Nigerian guy who was the owner of the cult that I joined. So I went and I bought some things that only women are supposed to wear. No man is supposed to wear such a thing. And then the deed was done. I was then told that I was going to be given some money and I was supposed to move from Hillbrow. I was supposed to leave my brother behind. So I then started a fight. Me and David, we then fought. I then got up and I left Hillbrow, for I knew that already there was an apartment that had been rented for me by my cousin brother Jabu, and I started staying there. And in that house, there were other rituals that I had to perform, like I bought a lot of eggs, and then there were men that came and they had to smash those eggs on top of me. It was like a ritual of humiliation, being humiliated by other men and cleaning after that. And then after I had done all of those rituals, I was gifted with a brand new Mercedes AMG. It was the most beautiful thing that had ever happened to me. The debt was gone. I was like a forex god again. And then I was told that if the devil gives you 1 million, the devil will take 1 billion. It was like a joke when he told me this story, when he said that I am going to give you this money, but I am going to demand more than I have given you. I just thought that it is just a funny joke. So I did not want my brother to know that I had made it big. One day, We then came across and I told him that I was now staying with Jabu. I did not want him to know that I have my own apartment, and I lied to him that the clothes, the car that I was driving, it belonged to Jabu. He then said to me, "You need to let go of this soft life, otherwise it is going to swallow you up." Everything was perfect until the start of this year. I was dropping a slay queen off in Waterfall, and after I had a very beautiful night with her, but then I could not spend the rest of the night with her because there was something that turned up. It was on the 7th of January this year, and I had finished dropping off. She was a beautiful, thick girl at a complex, and I felt so good because she gave me good sex. I was driving back on the M1, and suddenly the music that I was playing in my car, it cut out completely. Then the interior, it usually keeps on blue, but it started changing colors. It became red. This had never happened before. I thought that maybe it was a mechanical fault until I heard a voice. There was a voice that came from the speakers. It was not the radio or a phone call. The car itself was speaking to me, and this is what the car said. "Swoo, you enjoyed that thick woman. What about me? I am thirsty. I have given you what you want, but you do not want me to drink." My heart stopped. I remembered what that man had told me, that when the devil gives you something, he would want something in return as well. This was something that was really happening. It was a demonic physical manifestation of the spirit that I had made a covenant with when I was at that club. I then started to take control of myself because I had nearly hit the barrier, and I then said, "What do you want?" And then I heard the car whispering back to me. The car then said, "Give me David. Give me your brother. The contract expires in June. Sacrifice the brother so that you can keep on driving such a beautiful car." Then I heard an evil laughter, and then the music started playing again. My brother, by then, I felt like I just wanted to get out and run, but I was scared that I might be hijacked. I kept on driving. The way that I was speeding, I was over speeding. From there on, what has been happening is that there is an eye that follows me around. So this single eye, whenever I am sober, I can see it. It's like it will be on the wall, as if it's a painting on the wall. Expect that this eye, it blinks as it looks at me. It does not stop blinking. It follows me wherever I go to. Have you ever stayed, bro, in a house where the house speaks with you? Not like some top level technological stuff, but demons speaking to you. These demons, they speak to me through the walls. It is time, it is time. We want the blood of David. And I am always reminded that in June, my brother is going to be killed. I am being told that on the 7th of June, my bro is supposed to be dead by then. I will come back if I make the decision to get him sacrificed or not. For sure, I'm going to come back and tell you. Yo, dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear brother. Let us speak with our brother in the comment section. Please do not sacrifice your brother. Try by all means not to sacrifice your brother. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. If you have any confession that you wish to share with us, do not hesitate to come to our inbox and then you share with us your own side of the story.